go into a job interview and I feel a lack of confidence, if I believe I'm a loser, then I'm not going to get the job. You used to go to clubs and buy bottles of champagnes and thought that you were a loser, didn't end up where you wanted to go. So this is what a lot of people don't understand. Everyone's focused on productivity. But the single most important thing that will determine your future is your sense of who you are. And that's not like some, spiritual, get connected with you. This is like fucking science. Right? If you believe you are a loser, the empathic circuits of other people's brains will detect that in you and they will treat you like a loser. You carry who you are with you. That's why you get into failed relationship number 1, failed relationship number 2, failed relationship number 3 until you changed. So this is what's really crazy that a lot of people don't understand. Everyone is trying to manipulate other human beings into doing what you want. I want this person to fall in love with me. If you want to be a leader, if you want other people to be with you, the most important thing is authenticity. There's studies about this, that if you look at like how people in the workplace rank leadership, authenticity is at the top of the list. So authenticity and the ability to navigate negative challenges.
That's number 2. Authenticity, the ability to navigate negative challenges. That's, self-belief ties into that.
These are the two most
belief in your value and also your ability.
Important things to like be a leader. If you look at studies of psychology, this is what charisma actually is. Charisma is like authenticity and the confidence to face hard times. If you have these two things, when you walk into a room, people will like stop what they're doing and just like look at you. It changes the way that you conduct yourself, right? So we even know.
Did the first session for you, and what was that like after?
I think one thing that you do, Ryan, without knowing it, is you give people clarity.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say prior to the session, there was more chatter in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
After the session, it was just more calm and clarity. I didn't have the buzz, the typical buzzing that people have and the voice. I don't have any voice in my head anymore. After 2 sessions, I think that's a gift that you give people, and that's a gift you gave me. So it's even hard to think about how best to answer the question, because when you don't have that mental chatter, it really is a relief.
So we actually did a second session. Tell me about that. How was that for you?
The first one was more about clearing and clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one for me was about being more successful and working less. I've been the type of guy, if you recall in the session, that I think I deserve money and I deserve success only if I work my ass off.
Only if you work very hard, which you do.
Right. But since that session, I have not really worked that hard and I've made more money. So we started a new division in the company. It's called the Exit Concierge. We're really good at selling companies, not like brokers.
Mm-hmm.
But we work with the team, and our average transaction is 100 million plus.
Dang.
We just closed the deal at 145 million. What we do is we put the vendor team together. We've been attracting a lot of deals because the business model is so clean,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been effortless. I wrote a book called Who's in Your Room?
Yeah.
The orange one.
I have it.
And what the book is about is, I think we all have a personal responsibility, all of us, to stop the insanity and busyness of life and to sit down with somebody like you and discover why we're here. What's our purpose? It's hard for me to imagine someone talking to you who would try to overcomplicate this. Look, put your ego aside.
Yeah.
Surrender to the process that Ryan offers. And on the other side of it, you'll be a better human being. Don't you want that?
Despite all that I've accomplished, multi-$100,000 a year income, top performer in my field, top of my game, all of those things are not quite enough, feeling like I'm going through life wearing a weighted vest. Like things are just harder than they should be. There's it seems like I'm carrying this load around on my back like a pack animal. Attempting to overcome these things with fierce discipline works to a great degree. And my
Yeah.
life is a testament of that. The accomplishments, the skins that I have on the wall are a testament to that. The zeros in my bank account are a testament to that. But there are limits to that willpower.
100%.
That's kind of the hard way, you know, kind
Yeah.
of on top of all of it or under all of it. It's just this fear and anxiety that holds me back from taking action many times. It just seems like it's so much harder to get started than it ought to be, you know, or it's harder to think of the logical first step in a progression of steps to accomplish a big complex goal.
And so what were the results for you? What did you notice when we were done?
I was tired when we were done.
Yeah.
I was tired and I was ready for bed.
Yeah.
Immediately, though, the next day, I could tell that there was this very subtle but powerful shift. It was as if the gravity on Earth had lessened just a little bit, and it was much easier to walk around. And so I found myself able to move very quickly through medium difficulty work tasks that I probably would have easily procrastinated starting until they were getting closer to having to be due, you know, on the calendar. And that was kind of shocking because that's a big change for me. In other words,
Yeah.
one of the ways that I work is under pressure, and I'll create those conditions to sort of pull that performance out. And this, I just sat down, made a list, went through it, you know, and it was very simple. The other really visceral manifestation of that subtle change is that I immediately started on some work on my house, some renovation work, and just moved through that with the greatest ease. Like, was able to make a list of all the things that needed to happen, started executing the ones that weren't blocked by others, and I've got, you know, more than half of it done. And it's been like, well, a little over a week, and I've had to work and do a bunch of other stuff at the same time. So really, just an incredible shift in terms of the utilization of the time in the day. So
do you think it was do you know what it was subconsciously holding you back? I mean, there's an anxiety,
I think
but
it's a
there's
couple of
something
things,
underneath
you know?
an anxiety. What's that?
Yeah, I think it's a couple of things. I think it's not knowing the outcome and facing a risk of some sort of failure, large or
Yep.
small.
That's a pain agent. That'll cause anxiety. Keep going.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing that kind of links to the procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Would you say your anxiety is 100% gone, 80%, 50%?
Oh,
Or anything
you know,
holding you back?
100%, you know,
Right.
100%. I mean, it's a situation where there might be a moment of anxiety, but the intensity is very low.
Mhm.
And I'll attempt to kind of locate where it is in the body and think about it for a minute, you know, and think, why is this coming up? Where is this coming from? And it'll basically disappear within. Give it a chance.
Yeah.
Give it a chance. You know, come without any preconceived notions, and the impact is dramatic. It's just something else.
So,
All right.
why were you getting ready to quit sales?
Well, I was getting tired of not getting the results I wanted to get, and that was the main thing. I was just sick of it, man. I didn't see any I felt like I wasn't going anywhere with it. It was grinding me down psychologically because I was making a lot of phone calls. I was making setting appointments, people wouldn't show up. And I thought, maybe I should go back to teaching or go back to working at an office for somebody else for a set wage. And I didn't want to do it, but I was more and more inclined to do it.
You
I
did
was
a
feeling
session
very
and what
anxious.
changed?
Well, what changed after the session is that I got confidence. I realized I was treating and talking to my clients as if I was begging them to meet me and to buy from me.
Yeah.
And after the session, I was, you know, I after the session, I became aware of my own value and my status with my clients, and they responded to that in a very different manner.
And how did you feel different after the session?
Well, I felt like it was okay to be me. And I didn't have to explain myself to anybody. I didn't have to qualify to anybody. I just had to show them that what I had was good for them.
And how were you like before?
Oh, before I was qualifying to them all the time. You could hear in my tone of voice, like, "Oh, well, thank you for taking my call. How about you come and meet us and you talk to us?" And that wasn't getting me anywhere. I was trying to be liked by people. And after the session, I didn't feel like that. I felt like I was stronger, that I knew what I had to be done, and that I didn't have to beg anybody for their attention. And my sales, they didn't triple. I think I was selling 9 times more than before. I went from one sale every 3 months to 3 sales every month. I learned to accept myself and value myself, and that transfer to the way you treat yourself and the way people treat you. So as a result, my sales went up. They totally changed my outlook on life, changed big time.
The procrastination before 0 to 10, what would you rate it at, and what would you rate it at now?
Yeah, I would say procrastination before the session was maybe at like 7 or like 8 out of 10. Like I would still do things, but it would be very slow. And now it's usually like, there's still some, but I am like very much a productive person now, and I don't know, it's probably like down to like a 2 out of 10 now.
How's that affected the business that you run?
Yeah, well, this month will be our best month ever. That's going to be double from last month and double from the month before that. So things are going. I'm much more content with just being present, and that in turn allows me to get more stuff done. I feel much more um, like a sense of peace, and I'm not like dreading the work that I need to be doing, and I'm much just happier now in general, and that has led me to be more productive and just to be able to get more things done.
So we had a session 5 months ago. Can you tell me what your situation was like and what you were struggling with and how you were being held back before the session?
Yeah, sure. So I guess the main thing I came to you for was I had previous sessions of normal hypnotherapy. Yeah, also done EMDR therapy as well. I had probably had about 10 sessions of that. That was all for childhood trauma. Stuff happened to me when I was growing up.
How much did those help?
Not very much now looking at it from the perspective I am now. After the session with you, I'll be honest, I was skeptical just because I'm a scientific type of guy. I have multiple degrees in engineering and mathematics and physics as well. And yeah, so I was very skeptical, but I was like, what the heck? Let's give it a try. And then after that, it was compared to all the other sessions of psychotherapy and EMDR that I had previously. There was no comparison. I mean, it was literally, I would say that those sessions maybe cleared 5% of it, where this one session of hypnosis was on the order of 70%. Yeah. So before I was very, one, I was very shy. I was also very reserved just in general. Didn't want to rock the boat. Didn't want to have no conflict with anyone. Didn't really go for what I wanted. No, I said before they were like, I used to tell them what to do and they would just like blow me off and not really do it. And just like, I would have to tell them multiple times, and just, it was always have to ride them to get them to do stuff. After that happened, after the session, I noticed the change pretty much right away. And it just got better as time went along. It was to the point where, like I said, they were literally emailing me, coming to my desk, whatever they could do to try to, what can I do for you, basically, or what needs to be done.
Were you their boss or just a coworker?
I was their tech lead. So
tech lead, okay.
It was literally like type of words where they were just like, they couldn't do enough for me.
So they treated
for-
you different. It's like,
Yep.
why do you think that was?
I think it was just the way I carried myself and the confidence I had post hypnosis as opposed to previous. And I also even noticed, even like family members told me, they're like, you are totally different from what you used to be. And some of the family members were like, wow, this is great for you. You know, this is awesome to see you change. We were kind of worried that you would kind of be the way you were for, you know, the rest of your life. And it's awesome to see you change.
So what other positive changes did you see? So how many sessions did we do?
One.
What other things happened that you feel are directly as a result of the
Yes.
session? How do you feel?
Yeah. So prior to the session, I was very fidgety, for lack of better words. Just sit, for example, I'll be sitting in my chair and my legs would just be going like 100 miles an hour, both legs like moving, and just really like always uncomfortable from a body language standpoint. Now I'm very calm, just kind of stoic, for lack of better words. And it's very interesting to see that, because I've noticed just even in public forums and that just people kind of look at you differently. I've actually noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just they'll stare. I'll catch people staring at me more, and I think it's just because I'm just so stoic, for lack of better words, and just sitting there confident. And I move differently. And in fact, I don't know if my coworker told you, because he's told me multiple times, and some of my other coworkers had told me that I just moved with purpose, and with exact words were moved with purpose and on a mission.
What other changes have you noticed?
So professionally, I've been at this one company for more than 15 years.
Yeah, no personal info, just yeah.
Yep, more than 15 years. And then recently, I just had another opportunity come up. It was decided to go for it. Ended up getting the job. Ended up resigning from my old position after 15 years, and got a 40% pay increase.
40% pay increase.
Yep.
And how do you think the session was absolutely essential or just helped? And how, if so, how so?
Essential, because prior to the session, I just never had the wherewithal to move forward, to try to go get something new and make a drastic change like that, especially, you know, now it's COVID, right? And with the COVID stuff going on, there's a lot of people losing their jobs and so on and so forth. I mean, I just threw away basically a very stable job that I'd had for, 15 plus years, and went to something totally new.
What made you go to something totally new? Was it a gut feeling you should, or what was it?
It was a gut feeling. I think what it was that I knew I could do better, and I knew I was worth more.
Nice.
So I went from being like a lead of a team of 10 to now I have there's 200 plus people under me. Yeah, I couldn't have done this without the hypnosis. And then I went from zero to basically hero overnight, almost, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I was actually, I'll be completely honest, I was actually contemplating, it's like, this is the way my life is going to be the rest of the life. I kind of don't want to go down that road then, you know what I mean? Because it was just so sucky.
Yeah.
It was just not fulfilling, and just really didn't have anything. I was just functioning. I was just there. I was just blah.
Basically became a hermit and just played video games, just stayed in my parents' place, just worked from home.
Mhm.
And I always had, it felt like this weight that was on my shoulders. Like, I just didn't feel good about myself. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel like I was worthy of attention, of actually, being with these women, with being with men that were a lot more successful than me. I just had really low self-esteem, is what that weight was. Right after our session, our one and only session.
Yeah.
That was when I felt, how do I say it? How to describe it? It was like there was this heavy feeling inside of my chest and gut that had been there for as long as I could remember.
Yeah.
And when that was lifted, I suddenly just felt this feeling of, I just felt a lot more free. I started going towards things that I knew I had an interest in, things that I wanted to go and do, but I was always held back by that heavy feeling or that anxiety. And
Chains are off, baby.
Yeah, the chains are off, man. The chains were off because once I started doing those things, and I was like, oh, I don't feel as bad as I used to. I actually enjoy this now. I don't feel the anxiety. I don't feel the that weight anymore. So I was like, let's just keep going. And then as I just kept pushing forward there, and I didn't feel any walls, any obstacles pushing me back. That's I would say what allowed me to really make a lot of the huge changes in my life. It was just after that first session when those chains were off. That's when I was able to really start to, I'd say, expand my world and really just go out there and take hold of the day. I would say now I was able to get my own place, was able to pay attention to my weight, working out, actually cook the things that I want to go and cook, and keep track of the calories and such. Just become really, I'd say, very, very specific in everything that I was doing.
What made the difference then?
I'd say the difference was that uncontrollable anxiety that I was feeling that we found out was from some trauma that I had in the past with I'd say my early experiences. Once we were able to clear that, basically at that point it was just I was just home free. So
yeah, and you like your tone of voice and just your mannerisms now are markedly more confident than when we first met, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. I mean, I'm really, really happy that you're doing the work that you are, just because I went through a bunch of different other like personal development modalities. I went and saw a psychologist and everything before meeting you. But
how many sessions?
I'd say a lot, man. I went over, I think, like 1 to 2 years, maybe like anywhere from 24 to 48 sessions.
And did that help at all, or how was that?
It helped, just like it helped, but it wasn't as big of a change as doing hypnotherapy. Like there was little incremental changes, nothing as I'd say as impactful as what we did. It's like night and day. Like after our like seriously, night and day. There's no other way to describe it. It was just I noticed right away after our session just a complete change inside of my body, my demeanor, and everything. And I was like, wow, like psychotherapy never had anything like this. No, I was just gonna say, man, like it's like magic, basically. It's like you're just flipping a switch, and then you just cleared out decades of whatever trauma I was dealing with there.
That's so cool.
For me, being at the bottom of the basically bottom of the team, bottom of the barrel of that whole department there.
Do you know you were near the bottom?
I did, because we get bi-weekly updates of where we stand.
Okay.
And I was at the bottom, right? But I wasn't at the very bottom. I was second from the bottom. But the thing is that the person that was at the very bottom, they already left the company. Yeah, I was very, very, very low. My position was very I was walking on some very thin ice, is how I should say.
Yeah.
But I was able to go and improve that right away, where in August, I jumped from not even being in the top 30 to number 20 in the entire city.
Top 10%.
Yeah, but then it gets even better, because I think it was like a week or two after that, where it was close to the end of August, I went from number 20 up to number 7.
Yeah, I know, man. I saw that number 7. I'm like, that's number 7. How out of how many? 10? You're like, no, 200. I'm like, yeah, 3.5% if it's out of 200.
Yeah, totally, man.
On the bottom, like, how's that feel, man?
Oh, dude, it feels kind of amazing. Like, it feels kind of amazing is all I could say.
You go.
Yeah, I feel a lot more confident is the other thing too.
Well, I had anxiety, not knowing I had anxiety, but I just never felt confident and always thought that even though someone was talking, they were talking about me. it was all about me, and I start worrying, well, I got to do a better job because they're talking about me, and I got nervous. So, or some little answer would come, and I'd literally be on the ceiling, and Tim would have to peel me off because I was just like having anxiety. He goes, "What are you worried about?" Blah, blah, blah. So it was horrible. It was detrimental. I was very successful. I had management leadership roles in a lot of companies for the last 30 something years, even since I was 18 years old. And I just wasn't confident enough. And I was just so worried, what's the client going to think? Oh, did I do a good enough job? And that was always there. And that stemmed from my childhood. But I didn't know that's what that was. I just thought that's just my personality. I just have anxiety and I'm nervous all the time. After we went through kind of our like dive to the five before our session, there was a lot of things listed there. And I'm like, well, that's me. Yeah, that's me.
Did you realize that was you before? Or
no.
Or was it a new
I had
realization?
no idea what it was. And so I go to Tim, look at this. I'm this, and I'm this. And he goes, well, fill out the form. I'm like, okay. And so
That's a very Tim thing, you know. He just
so I filled out the form, and literally it went to the other side. I said, I need another piece of paper. And so it was incredible. It stemmed from my parents telling me that I was not good enough. If you don't do this, you're not going to be good enough. And it stemmed back from my father and me in golf. You didn't practice enough. You can't putt well enough because you didn't practice. We got to go putt. And we would not leave that putting green till I got 5 balls in a row in. So, or my drive from the tee was perfect to where it hit the green. That's the drive. And that was always in the back of my subconscious, but I didn't know it. My mom was one of 7 kids and in the middle, and she was never always told by her parents, which I didn't realize this until we really started in our session, that she was the one, her mom said, well, you're not like Lorraine. You're not successful like Lorraine. And it was.
Yeah, Dr. Chain. So how was the session? What happened there?
Oh,
It was hardcore. It was pretty intense, right?
It was intense. And I was kind of excited, but nervous.
Yeah. I mean, we go all out. We go to the core. We go deep. We don't do surface level crap, man. That's not what we're about, you know.
So Tim was real excited for it. I was just like, oh gosh, what if I fail? What if we can't get
What
it
if
out?
I fail again? What if I fail?
Yeah,
What if it doesn't work? Does that mean I'm hopeless? I'm not good enough? It's my fault that
What
Ryan.
if I don't feel it? What if I don't do? And we did some basic stuff. And of course,
She was my practice subject during him.
Nice.
Training.
So I'm like, I don't see this light thing. And so after that, we were in the session and we were getting to some things and I'm just like, no, I'm not talking about that. No, I'm not doing it. And Ryan was relentless, and I'm not kidding, relentless. He goes, nope, we are getting this sucker
I
out.
know it was worth it. I knew you'd thank me in the long run.
Yes, I do. Incredible. And I'll explain our story and what's gone on since then.
Sure.
But it was a long session and we were in there. He's like, go talk to your dad again. And we went back and forth. And it was just like, and finally I said what I had been feeling all that time. And for 40 something years or long, actually.
I knew you were holding back. That's why I kept pushing.
And pushing. And now it's just like, sometimes things get me, and you'll always have that. We're human beings, but I can go and sit and do something and come back and fix it myself. And I'm not for hours.
It doesn't screw up the whole.
You got the power now. You got power. Did one session, how long ago was it, Carrie?
It was on September 8th.
So 6 months, 7 months,
6
whatever.
months, yeah.
6 months.
Still feeling the benefit?
What's that?
Still feeling the benefit from the session?
Oh yeah.
Permanent change.
Perfect,
So
like totally different person.
you're moving forward. You started your own business. That takes guts, that takes courage, and you're not being held back anymore, correct?
Correct. Now we've done about $3,700 in 1 month of resin diamond painting pens. This hypnotherapy, one session with Ryan, I'm a totally different person.
you had some business issues that were causing a lot of fear and stress. Is that right to say?
That's correct.
And how strong would you rate that fear and stress 0 to 10 at that before you came to me, or right when you did?
Yeah, I mean, I have to put it closer to an 8.5. So pretty high.
And how was that affecting you and your ability to run a business, personal life, all of that?
Certainly. Yeah, like I said, emotions can take the mind in various areas, especially strong emotions, and the brain seems to have a coping mechanism to attach to that emotion. So, when you talk about working long hours, especially in the summertime, and then you talk about the personal life on the back end, it certainly affects every aspect of your life.
Okay. So we did that one session, and what did the fear and stress go down to after that, 0 to 10?
I would say it was closer to a 3. It really gave me a move forward. It gave my brain a way to process different information, even though around the same subject. So once that fear was alleviated on the situation specifically, your brain's able to move past that and start to operate in a different realm.
Okay, so you said before you had a particular issue that's causing you a lot of fear and stress. It went from 8.5 out of 10 down to 3 out of 10. Pretty immediate, is that correct to say after the session?
Yeah, within, I think it would be fair to say 24 hours, because for me, it gave my brain different ideas and different things to chew on regarding the situation. It's almost like a gate was opened, and now this flood of information that had been withheld was able to be, chewed upon and thought through. And my mind is very analytical, so that's kind of how I viewed it. Was just I was able to chew on different information that was withheld from me.
Okay, and do you think that's did we just fix this around this one particular issue you're struggling with at a time, or do you maybe process fear and uncertainty differently now and handle it in a different way, or was it just this one thing?
Yeah, totally. No, I think in general, especially in the last 6 months, there's been tremendous growth from our company end, and from adding additional employees and doing going almost in a complete different direction from the marketing angle. And to me, really, I think it's I've noticed a difference in myself on how I can deal with stress, and I can deal with those thoughts that come up and move past them very quickly. So for me, I do see a change just in my ability to handle different situations that, I think, like I said before, I think it's the experiences that you go through and the different patterns in your brain. If your brain's able to work through things, then it should affect every action moving forward.
So after the sessions, there was it's all mental hurdles that I wasn't able to jump. And after our session, I accomplished small goals. But thanks to me accomplishing those small goals after our session, I said, okay, if I could jump this hurdle that I believe that I will never be able to jump, and I did it over and over and over, why can I accomplish that? If I defeated this that was holding me back for so long, why can I accomplish this? And it's a whole mind shift. Your mind just clicks, like everything just connects and makes sense. And once that connects, the only one that can stop you is yourself, right?
Yeah.
So
and you gave the example of work. So tell me more about that.
So with my job, like I said, I was doing really, really bad. I was getting this close to getting let go. And I was like, crap, I'm gonna get fired. And in my head, I already started thinking, I'm gonna move back in with my parents. I have so much money saved up. I'm gonna do. My mind was already going. So talking to my manager, he called me into the office and he said, hey man, what are we going to do about this? And I said, you know what? This month, if I don't make it over 50K, I'm fired.
You said that to him.
Yeah, I told him, if I don't make it over 50K, I'm fired. Like, you'll fire me. Like, I'm gone. He's like, well, all right. So you have You have this task to do, you have this task to do, and you have also this test to do. The cherry on top is going to be you setting over 50K. I sold 100K that month. How? I just did. I just did. And after that, it's been just uphill ever since. And when I'm in kind of down, I remember this thing.
Yes,
Like we had in our session. Yeah. I remember this thing. Yeah.
Yes, circles, yes.
Yep.
And
You're
what do
still
you
here.
think? And what do you think changed? Was it just your attitude? What was the? Obviously, it was the session, but what was removed? What was that barrier that was removed that made you just knock it out of the park? Do you think?
It was all of that, all of, like I said, all of that darkness, all of that heaviness, all that resentment, all that guilt, all those negative emotions that I was feeling before our sessions, man.
And is that like I don't want to even talk to a potential client because I feel this? Is it I can't close? Like all the above? Like what was
All the above. All the above.
Like,
I believe that I wasn't able to close, that I couldn't talk to his customer, and even though I'm the one with the experience,
Mhm.
I still can. I don't have the right to recommend anything. That's how I felt. But after our sessions, all of that started going away. And like I said, I did it once, and I was successful. And after I jumped that hurdle, I said, "Okay, give me another one. Give me another one. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep doing this. Repetition."
Well, tell your boss I only charge 5% of everything you made. So he can mail that to my my home address. I'll wait for it.
What about 2% on turnovers and 1% on repairs? How about that?
I'll consider it. We can negotiate the deal.
Service revenue
details
1%,
later.
turnovers 2%.
I'll consider it. I'll consider
Tax free. Tax free.
Oh, there you go. That's
Tax-free.
perfect then. Although that's awesome. That's awesome. And so it was just that it seems like, and so what was different? Like you're just like, okay, I can find new clients, I can talk to clients, and you just weren't worried about them judging you. You weren't worried about the result. You were just like explain to me like how you felt in those interactions, like going through those motions.
I wasn't afraid of them judging me because I stopped judging myself so much after all. That's why. So all those negative emotions that I was feeling, I was projecting that onto other people. So after all those negative emotions were gone, I stopped judging myself so much, and I stopped judging what clients could potentially do, and snap on me, scream at me, give me a bad review, tell me no, blah blah blah, objection after objection. So all those negative emotions, when we got rid of them, I was able to pretty much look at life through like different lenses.
Going on YouTube, whatever you're comfortable with, but what were you struggling with? And then what happened after the session? What was it like after the session?
Yeah, so I struggled with anxiety, but the problem was it was really irrational anxiety. So I kind of knew the anxiety is not legit, but I was not able to willpower through it. Like I took CBD oil, ashwagandha, L-theanine, you name it, But I always had this really strong emotional response, which was anxiety. No matter what I did, I was looking at people that don't have anxiety. I knew it's like overblown. I knew it, but I had no idea why. And then after the session, I was so relaxed. I felt like this after my Vipassana meditation retreats. When I meditated for 10 days straight, like 7 hours a day, I felt like this after these retreats. But I felt like this without meditation. I was like, something deep changed. I was walking through the streets of Berlin. I lived in Germany back then. I didn't have that much money, but I was just happy. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
It just felt like, my happiness went from 8 out of 10 just to 10 out of 10, like instantly. I think what would be valuable for the viewers as well, the things I did after the session, because I was always afraid to get a business mentor, and I had the perfect business mentor in front of me, but I didn't book the call to invest because I was just scared. After the
scared
session,
of spending the money?
Not only spending money, but just to go for my dreams, to go for it. And then I was like, I had no anxiety. I was like, let's do it. If it fails, I will find a way. I did it 3 months later. Now I'm 6 months later. Now I'm independent. I'm living with my girlfriend in Poland. I'm having my own business. I had 2 newspaper articles published about my story because I had the guts to go for it. Just my whole life. As soon as this changed, this changed. It's insane. No, I felt like I had a handbrake on, the car. I was driving with the brakes on all the time. But then I just released the brakes and I went.
Got you unstuck. So amazing.
100%. 100%. I was mind blown. I was walking around. I was like, am I supposed to feel like this? I feel chill. I feel happy. I feel like I'm supposed to feel like rationally, It was really like refreshing to see. Just refreshing to see how normal people actually feel, because I was living in this illusion. I thought like it's normal to feel like this. Like the rest of my life would be like this, I thought.
Is there anything you want to share with the audience? Any questions you have for me or comments?
What is interesting is the more personal you think your problem is, the more universal it is. Because I thought maybe other guys have it, but when you say 90% of guys have it, I think that's actually true.
To some degree, 90% have it.
Yeah, some degree,
Yeah. We don't see what's going on in people's inside world.
Yeah, for sure. Because I also first thought, I got the physique, now I get the money. Now, before my girlfriend was back, I was like, maybe I'm not happy because my girlfriend is not here. Now I have every one of these 3 aspects. I should be super happy, but I'm like, there's still something, like you can make as much money as you want. If you don't clear your inner side, it's not going to work for sure. For sure.
Anything else you'd like to share? Any questions you have for me before we end the interview?
No, all good. I think the sooner you work on your inner self, the better. And professional help is always the way to go. I'm a coach myself. I have a business coach as well, and now I have you. So like the money you can always get back, but you can never get back the time. And if I look at the last 6 months of my life, oh man, it has been an awesome ride. But your session with you in July was like the starting point for sure. I think they have no idea what is going to happen to them. It has way more benefits than I thought. So I would just say that we can always get back the money if you think a financial investment is too much, but it's worth like 10 times more for sure.
Awesome.
It's insane. Yeah, for sure.